All right. Good morning, gang. So actually afternoon, right? We're about mid-lunch there in New York time, about 6:30 in the morning over in Honolulu time. Interesting day in the market, right? We got a nice little push there, some good earnings, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, the banks, those three big banks that lead off the earnings season every 3 months, uh, did their job, right? So now we kind of roll into earnings season with a little momentum. You see the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq's a little bit red as compared to the Dow and the S&P, and even the S&P sagged down a little bit. That's the Apple effect. We've been talking about it for 2, 3 weeks, right? Yesterday, we started getting some participation from Apple. And in its short term chart, if you look at that little 5 day chart, it's really starting to stair step higher. It's had a good couple of days, so it's probably taking a little breather here. But you see how Apple, as Apple goes, really the missing piece to these legs up has been Apple. We think there's a bigger bull leg coming, and it'll be driven by Apple. It's probably going to make a move real quick here to its all-time highs. Other than that, how about oil this morning? We'll take a look at oil together. Um, but oil is making all these highs this morning. It's almost $64. It's the mid 63s. Just when we started recording, it made another day high. That's how you trade, guys. We talked about it over the last week and a half, right? We bought those oil plays, that energy plays, XLE, ET, SU, the Suncor. Suncor, we also gave as the stock of the week, right? We buy those into weakness. Now we're starting to get this breakout out of oil. Remember just 1 week ago, right? Remember what they're saying about oil? It's done, right? We had too much supply. There wasn't enough consumption, and there just wasn't any consumption calling. And we talked about that, right? That oil will, people get those nervous Nellies with oil a lot more often than they do with other things. And it all is based on that OPEC. But we got a great inventory report this morning, and that really kicked things off. And, just using common sense, I always teach you guys this, use a little common sense with your stock picking. It doesn't have to be so complicated, right? We haven't been consuming oil because all these economies have closed. Yeah, sure. There's parts of Europe, the Asia that are still closed, but your two biggest economies on the planet, the United States and China, are consuming oil. And that's the beginnings, right? Every journey starts with the first step. We never expected the whole world to just open up one day. Now we've got two huge economies opening up. Now, India, Canada, Japan, and parts of Europe are still struggling a little bit, but they will come around. Yesterday, the damper on the market was the J&J news, right? This morning, a lot of the reports are, well, the J&J wasn't really that widely used. And the Moderna we got another report today, right? 90% effective after that second shot, 6 months. The Pfizer is still out there. There's no reason for that J&J to create any assumption that the vaccination streak that we've been having is going to stop. Okay. There are vaccines available. There's dosages available. There's enough to continue on the path that we're continuing on. And there's massive amounts coming down the line, probably daily. So a little bit of Chicken Little there. The sky's falling, right? So we didn't bite into that. We looked at it as an opportunity. And guess what? Now we're sitting on some energy plays that are just exploding. All right. And that's how you do it, guys. Now, look, a little later, I'm going to release the stock of the week. Now, this stock is going to be a little controversial for some of you on the social side. So take it with a grain of salt. Remember, your money doesn't have any ideology. All right. Just remember that. We're also, remember a couple of weeks ago, we gave you that free VIX play that doubled overnight, right? We're going to give you an option play along with the stock of the week. So tune in for that if you want to have some fun, play along. In our live room with our members this morning, we actually bought a little bit of that option. And we like the stock, and it's a great story stock. Now, this one is just like the last couple where it doesn't really have a dividend, but it's got great price action and it's at a great place, and it's got a nice chart, but it's a story stock. It's got a great backstory to it, and it's got some big promises based on what's going on in the country today. So other than that, guys, let's go take a look, man, at the oil chart, because really that's something. It's something to see. Let me share my screen here with you, cats. And you can see this is a trading view chart of the CL, which is your oil futures. Look at that chart today. Look at that chart. About 6 a.m., just sidelining, little bit of trickle up at about 8, right? And then your report came out. Boom. Now we're all of a sudden at month highs. Ride it, Cowboys. That's the best I can say. And that's a great looking chart there. No reason to assume that this momentum in oil is going to stop, right? Think about it. It just came off some bad news. Debbie Downers on the, Canada's not reopening, this and that. Again, think about it sensibly, okay? Ignore the noise. Think about it sensibly. Your two largest economies on the planet are starting to open. Tourism is opening up. We've told you guys the last couple of days in our updates that, we're in Hawaii. You're starting to see massive amounts of tourists in Waikiki. You're starting to see planes are full. And a few weeks back, we even mentioned this to you, that we had a member that was traveling through California, and he said every plane was packed to the gills except for the international flights. So if we've done this with just on what we've done on the reopening, imagine as we go forward into the summer, right? Summer is your big consumption months. And thank God we're opening up. So it looks like we'll get a little bit of 4th of July love on this trade. And down the line, there's even Labor Day and stuff like that, right? We set these trades up to the end of July. So we gave ourselves plenty of room on those. Other than that, guys, look, we're bullish on the market right now. There's a lot of good things happening. We're just in the first day of earnings season. It was a rip-roaring start to earnings. Now, remember, there's going to be wins and there's going to be losses for companies in earnings season. There's always that miss here, miss there. But we think for the most part, especially with retail and your tech stocks, you're going to start getting a lot of good forward guidance. And that's what the market's looking for. The market doesn't want to hear what the company did last quarter. What the market wants to know is what the prospects are going forward, right? So we want to see some of that guidance. Other than that, guys, it's just Wednesday. It's hump day. You guys take it easy. Give me a few minutes. We'll get this trade of the week out. Don't forget, we're going to give a free pick with it. Now, there's no guarantee. Past performance is not an indicator of future performance. And this is a play at your own risk, okay? If you want to play, play. If you don't play. But if you do play and it doesn't win, don't complain. We're all big boys and girls, right? The last one was a double. I will say that VIX trade. Now, this one, we're not looking for that instant double like we were on that VIX trade, but it's a nice set of options that's got a lot of potential in it. And we thought we'd share it with all you guys that are loyal viewers. So tune into that stock of the week in a few minutes and just kind of sit back and enjoy this market run right now, right? Everything's all systems go right now, except for, you've got a little bit of drag with Apple, but Apple's had a good 2-3 days, a nice little run there, and it makes sense to have a little bit of a pause today. So I'm sure it's nothing to be worried about. Don't forget too, Apple, and this is kind of a funny thing. I'll share this with you to close the update. Apple is going to have their show on the 20th, and that was a big secret. But somehow Siri found out, and somebody asked their phone, "Hey, Siri, when's the next Apple show?" And of course, it blurted out, the next Apple show is on the 20th, right? And the cat was out of the bag. So if you want to know Apple's secrets about electric cars and autonomous vehicles and whatever else secret stuff they're doing in Cupertino, just ask Siri. There's always loose lips on the ship, huh? Damn that woman. Anyways, so there's some more promise for Apple, right? And like I said, it's had a big couple of days, so it makes sense that it takes a little breather today. But that's what's holding back your S&P. You look at your Dow, right, guys? Your Dow's on fire again. Your S&P opened up on fire. Your NASDAQ was okay. But as we rolled into the day, you could see because Apple was sagging, the S&P at some point went red and the NASDAQ definitely went red. So interesting how one stock can really affect the market. Okay. Other than that, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning with the morning update. And also, too, don't forget, check in on this stock of the week. It's an interesting story, but for some people, it might be controversial. It depends on you. But remember, I'm going to say this one more time, guys. Your money has no ideology. Your money has no political affiliation. Your money is either working for you or it's lazy and you need to get it working. All right, gang. I'll see you guys on the stock of the week.